Hello and welcome back to my YouTube channel. It's Coco Marmot. Hope you're doing well. Make sure you like, share, comment and subscribe. I'm going to show you how I do my base. So let's get this party started, baby. So first I'm starting off with the Nars Radiance Booster in the shade Barbuda. I'm just putting that all over my face with my Real Techniques Expert face brush. I'm then going to go in with my foundation, so I'm using the Giorgio Armani liquid foundation in the shade 13.25, and I'm also going to use a liquid foundation in the center of my face. You don't have to do this, but sometimes I prefer this if I want a sort of more soft focus look. And also sometimes I just go in with my TooFaced chestnut concealer, so it's up to you. I put that under my eyes, on the bridge of my nose, on my chin and on my forehead, and I blend that out till it is seamless. We cannot do lines. We don't do harsh lines for good makeup. I repeat, public service announcement. We do not do harsh lines for good makeup, but it's up to you. I then go in with a beauty blender and I blend that in just to make sure that I've taken off all the excess foundation and to make it look as soft focused as possible. I then go in with my Huda Beauty Tantour cream distance in the shade medium, and I put that on my cheeks, and that just brings more of a brown hue to my face. As you can see, I put that in the places that you would contour usually, so that's on the sides of your nose, on your cheek, in the well, just above the hollow of my cheekbone, on my chin, even though I've already got a bum chin. And then I go in and use the beauty blender again to get rid of any harsh lines. Now that bronzer is not that dark, so I do go in with my L'Oreal infallible concealer in the shade Expresso, which is much darker, as you can see, but it is still very brown. It is not cool toned, it is actually very warm, and so it still brings some sort of definition but also more so warmth to my face. I use that around my lips as well. This sort of acts as a pre-liner, and it also makes sure the top lip is plump. I then go in with my TooFaced chestnut concealer, and nope, that's not chestnut, that is Mocha, and I put that on the sides of my nose, and I also put it under my eyes in the same places that I put the foundation, but I don't spread it out as far, as you will see. I then put it on top of my eyebrows. I don't always do this, to be honest, but I think I had a bit extra and I didn't want to waste it, to be honest. Makeup's expensive, sue me. So I used my beauty blender to just blend out the edges, because you want to keep the coverage that is in the center. Blending all over my eyes, under my eyebrows. Yes, let me continue, blend it. So I put it on my eyebrow, on my eyes as a base for my eyeshadow. I then blend out the concealer on my forehead, and I'm using the butt of the beauty blender at some point because that doesn't have much product, and I don't want the concealer, the lighter concealer, to go all the way up. As you can see here, I bring in my foundation brush to bring back in that darker blend of my contour and my foundation on my forehead, because I don't want a lot of product on my forehead at all. And I continue to then blend and reinforce that contour that we laid down with the L'Oreal Infallible Concealer. Woo child. My neck is even hurting from all this talking. Okay, next. contour the nose, reinforce. So this is all reinforcing everything that I've put down before. So don't be shy to go back and reinforce, because what happens a lot of the time when you blend is everything just sort of goes into one, which is good, but we still want that definition to show. So put the coverage where you need to put it. I'm going in with my Kevyn Aucoin Sensual Skin Enhancer in the shade SX11. That is very thick and it has a whole lot of coverage, so I don't put a lot at all. Also, it is very light, so I just keep it right underneath the eyes and by the sides of the contour. Everything here is just reinforcing and blending. So again, taking the foundation brush to blend between the light and the dark. I'm then taking my mix of Laura Mercier, Huda in Blondie, Fenty in Honey, Ben Nye in Banana, Laura Mercier in Translucent and in Deep. So that's just a blend there. So you can always make your own setting powders. You can always, you know, mix and match everything you have. So what I use that for is just to make sure it sets the concealer in the same color that I've laid the concealer. So it did brighten it a little bit, but it is pretty much the same color as the concealer I laid down. I didn't want to alter that shade because I liked what I had going on. So when I've laid that and I've set that, I took my Chanel Lumiere powder in the shade 30 Natural, I think, and that is what I'm just using to brighten right underneath the eyes, and I'm going to leave that there for a little while. Okay, so what I'm doing here now is I am highlighting right up to the sides of my nose where I put the highlight before, and not going over my contour. So where the highlight meets the contour, it makes the contour more apparent. And then I'm going to use my mineralized skin finish in the shade Dark to use as an all over face powder. I'm then going to go in with my Charlotte Tilbury bronzer on the hollows of my cheek where I put my contour. I didn't use an actual contour here, I just used bronzer to warm up the face and add a little bit of dimension, not too much. I also used that to set my nose contour, and also then I went in with my MAC powder foundation in the shade NC45, and I used that under my eyes to bring back that yellow tint. I lied, I actually did some blush first, so I used the Smashbox Buildable Cheek Brush, and then I went in and reinforced again with powder some of that yellow that I lost when I used the Chanel powder for the finish. Taking a breather and putting in some Pat McGrath powder, which is a nice finishing powder. It adds a blurring effect. I'm not sure if you can see it here, but it really adds a nice blurring effect under the eyes and wherever you put it. So I tend to just put it on the places where I applied highlight, and then I'm taking my bronzer into my eyebrows because that reinforces the contour. And there, ladies, is my base routine. That brings us to the end of the video. Let's get into the slow-mos. I keep it juicy, juicy. I eat that lunch. She keep that booty, booty. She keep that pump. That little beauty, beauty.